what I've been playing around with is this tool Ollama. I think this is similar to something called Docker. That's the only competitor product of which I'm aware. Um, but this basically allows it's an easy way for people to run LLMs locally on their home computers. So that there's no need to even have an internet connection. You can just be chatting with the LLM right there on your device. So the first step is to download Ollama, and I'll ask you guys to actually do this if you haven't done it already. So download Ollama, and then um, and then actually run the file. And I guess I have to try. If you're going to do this, you have to trust it. I trust it, but if you don't trust it, don't do it. So you download from the website. I haven't shared in a way where you guys are going to see me go to the website, but I can do that. Yeah. So you download, and it'll give you some options. I think. Oh, it just downloaded it directly. Oh, well, I already have it, so I don't need to do that. And after you have that on your machine, you can open the setup exe file and run it and check that it's working. So let me know when people are done with, well, I'll just say, you're done with step 3. I'll tell you what, if anybody needs me to go more slowly, let me know. Okay. But I'm just going to keep going. So once that item is downloaded and working, you can open it in two ways. You can open it by looking for the Ollama app, which has a nice little GUI, general user interface to it. And you can query specific models or even download models directly from here. So if you want to download the 20 billion parameter model, GPT OSS 20 billion, or 120 billion parameter model, et cetera. Now, let me warn you, some of these models are big. Okay. So the 120 billion parameter model is probably like 60 gigabytes in size. So don't do that if you don't have 60 gigabytes of free space on your machine. You have to pay attention to how big the models are when you're deciding which ones to download. Um, and then you can query, what's the best day of the week to see a movie? And and you can interact with the models that you've downloaded in that way, or interact with ones through the cloud. What I'm going to share with you here is not this. You can do this, but there are more things that you can do from the command line. So I'm going to encourage people to take the second option, which is option B here, opening a command prompt window. And you do that on a PC anyway by just like searching for a command prompt and then opening that. Okay. So from here, I have a couple of command prompts open. Let me close some of the others. Sorry. So from here, you can make sure that Ollama is installed and running just by entering Ollama. That gives you a list of available commands. And the Ollama commands all have the same structure, at least before you're interfacing with the model directly. That structure is Ollama and then the command you want it to run. Okay, and then sometimes some other particulars. So if you want it to run a particular model, you say Ollama run, the model you want it to run. Now, when you first start doing this, you might not have any models downloaded on your machine. So how do you get them? Well, a way to get them is to go to the page that Ollama provides, um, the models page basically, and that gives you a list of available models that are available for download. So, say you want Minstrel. I haven't used this yet, so we can look at this. Um, and there's an 8 billion parameter model. It's about 6 gigabytes in size. Maybe I want that one. Okay, so I take a look at that. I click on that. It says, this is the way from the command line to get this model. I'm going to enter Ollama run Minestrol 3 colon 8B. So I just copy this and put it right into my command line here. And now it's pulling the model in. Okay, so it takes some time to download. I don't know if I want to wait for this. It's going to slow us down, but um, it's going to download the model and then we can work with it. It's going to take about 2 minutes. I don't think I'm going to wait for that. I'm just going to stop that process. That's okay. So once you have that on your machine, once that's done, it will actually run. Okay, I just got your email, Martin. Sorry about that.
No worries.
And you can it will run. So I can run Llama because I've already run it before, so it's already been pulled into the machine. It's already downloaded. Okay. Um, Other than that, another thing you can do is list the models that you have, which is useful. So a Llama list will just tell you which models are actually already on your machine and can be run without having to download them. Uh, at some point, I may teach people how to, or we may do a workshop on how to create your own model, starting from a model that you've already pulled. And you can adjust system parameters or other things and save that within this list so that then you can go back to that model and interact with that model again. But for now, what I want to show you, a little bit more of what I want to show you is once you're inside one of these, so Ollama run Llama 3.18 billion. So once you're inside one of these, there are a variety of commands that you can just query. Now you're just talking to the model directly, and whatever so you can say what's the best day to go see a movie, answer in one sentence. I say that because otherwise it just goes on and on. I've learned that it's best to be specific about how long you want the answers to be. And I get an answer from Llama 3.1 8 billion parameter model. Okay. So what I can do now, by the way, just interrupt me, folks, if you feel like you have a question that needs answering right away. Okay, just interrupt me. I don't want to just talk at you. Um, what we can do now is, or what we can do in addition to this, is a variety of commands that kind of work from outside of the model to change things about the interaction with the model. So the simplest of those is, and these are all commands that are expressed by a forward slash. So forward slash by is the simplest one. That just gets you out of the model and back into the regular command line again. But some others are, you can set the temperature, you can set the top K, these parameters that I was talking about before. So if you want to set the temperature, for instance, set parameter temperature, and then just give whatever you want it to be. I set my temperature really low, so it's a very kind of deterministic, most probable response. And then ask, what's the best day to go see a movie? The same question I asked before. It's going to give me a very similar answer, okay? That's fine. Let's set the temperature much higher and see what happens. I don't even know if this is a meaningful number, but set it to 8. And ask again, what's the best day to go see them? Catch a matinee showing. It's getting weird, right? Catch a matinee showing due to, right? You can play around with this. You'll see that if you increase the temperature, you're going to get weirder responses. And top K as well. If you increase the top K, you're going to get weirder responses. You lower the top K, you get more deterministic responses. You can also set the system to behave a certain way throughout the entire session. So you can say, set system, you are an an astronaut. And then we can say, what's a good weekend activity for 5-year-olds? You guys see where my head's at, going to see movies, 5-year-olds. And it's going to say a space themed scavenger hunt. Okay, it's good. So you see sort of how fun this is, right? I mean, you can play around and by that set command is really kind of stepping outside the system and changing something about the system that affects all of your further interactions with it in that session. Something that you can also do is create a model where you've define those parameters, and then that can be sort of something you can come back to within your list of models and interact with directly without having to set these parameters um, at each interaction with the system. Okay, so that's all I have to share with you about that. And I had some exercises, but I think we probably don't have time really to do them. Are there any questions or comments about that? Ideas about like how to use this or if it's useful at all or what's good or bad about it. Feedback for me about what I've shared.